Okay, so I'm starting. It's not often that Eta gets to have the first word in the present family, but I pulled age and rank, so I go first. My cousin is videotaping this, and we will be putting this on YouTube for my Aunt Susan and Aunt Carol, who will be sitting sugar in the cabin in Susan's apartment. Carol will actually be sitting in Barcelona for the last 2 days. And for the grandchildren in the States, my daughter Casa, my daughter Jessica, Mark's son Daniel, and his daughter Sarah Rachel. So I want to just tell them on camera that we love you all. I also would just like to take a moment to start off by giving a hak to my husband Mark, who will be joining us tomorrow. For the last 5.5 years, with the exception of Thanksgivings, Pesachs, and some summer weekends, we have spent almost every Shabbat lunch at Mom and Dad's. I don't know many sons-in-laws who would be so giving of their own time, and I want to thank him for his encouragement and support in bringing my parents to West Orange after Mom was sick, and enabling me to take care of my parents as well as I could. So when my son Eric passed away 3.5 years ago, I chose to just read a poem. I just didn't think I could do this. And left the eulogies to the rest of the family. But now that my mom has gone and joined Eric in heaven, I want to tell you a little bit about her and how special she was to me and to all of us. These last 6 years have been very hard for us, and it was sometimes hard to remember who Mom used to be. And so I want to tell you who she was and is. Anne Marley Schilling was born on March 27, 1934, to Louis and Estelle. My grandparents actually got married on the day of the bank's crash, but life actually seemed to look up for them from that time on. Mom was the oldest of 3 girls. Carol was born, I don't know if it's 5 years or 7 years later, so I apologize, and Susan 12 years later. That I always remember because the gap between Susan and Mom was actually more than the gap between me and Susan. We're 10 years apart. Susan was actually one of the early baby boomers born in 1946. Susan always referred to Mom as the Mommy Hippo because when they used to play, my mother was Mommy Hippo and Susan was Baby Hippo. The family lives in Brooklyn, where Mom attended East Midland High School and then Brooklyn College, majoring in early childhood education. When Susan was born, my grandparents decided that she would be going to Yeshiva Flatbush. Until that time, the family had not been Orthodox, but Grandma and Grandpa didn't want Susan to be confused and get mixed messages, and so the family decided to become Shomer Shabbat. My mom, who until then had not known much, was then sent to Talmud Torah, which, for those of you who don't know what that is actually an after-school Jewish program. In time, in perfect mom fashion, she excelled to the point where she was the valedictorian of the Talmud Torah class. She actually kept that valedictorian document and would show it to us from time to time. It was in the photo albums. She was very proud of it. And when we made Aliyah, she could show us that she knew Hebrew from when she was the valedictorian. At Brooklyn College, Mom made some lifelong friends, including Eileen Turetsky, Zena Dax, and the woman who was to become her sister-in-law, Elaine Cohn. Elaine was going out at the time with Alvin Krasner, who was an identical twin. Alvin asked Elaine for some members of her, for some phone numbers of her friends that he could give to his twin Erwin, who was away in Chicago Medical School. Mom was number 2 on the list of 3, and Dad never got to number 3. Mom and Dad had a long-distance romantic courtship. Mom showed us letters that Dad used to write to her signed by your friend Erwin. They became engaged in the spring and were married on August 14, 1955, on Grandpa Lou's birthday. Dad then began an internship at Mount Sinai Hospital, living at the time with my grandparents in the attic in Brooklyn. Mom worked as a nursery school teacher, to supplement Dad's $25 a month salary until she was 6 months pregnant and had to stop teaching, because at that time the New York Board of Ed wouldn't let women teach once they were showing. At that time, there was also still mandatory Army service. And once Dad finished his internship, he enlisted in the Air Force and was sent to Kinross, Michigan to do his service as a physician. Can you imagine what it must have been like as a 22-year-old young woman with a new baby sent off to live in the frozen, barren Air Force base? Mom and Dad used to tell us wonderful stories of the mice in the attic, the frozen water pipes, and Dad used to tell us stories about horrible airplane crashes that he would help with. But Mom always spoke about that time with wonder in her voice, and always told me that it was there in frozen Kinross that she really fell in love with Dad. Mom stood by Dad all the years as he trained to become a pediatric surgeon. After 2 years in frozen Michigan, where Mark joined our little family, it was back to a small apartment in Brooklyn, now living on $50 a month, with Dad coming home every third day, Mom raising 2 kids mostly on her own. Over time, we moved to 210 West 19th Street in Manhattan. Then, in 1961, when Dad finished his residency at Mount Sinai, he had an opportunity to be chief resident in sunny Montreal. While Dad was reluctant to schlep his family of 4+ again, away from their extended family, Mommy insisted that this was the best thing for his career and packed us all up again to the snow barrens. While there, they made lifelong friends, Moshe and Phyllis Tomic, who are friends to this day. Mom had a strong belief in Dad and his ability and wanted him to be the best pediatric surgeon he could be and be able to help many sick children in the years to come. When we were living in Manhattan at 50 West 96th Street, Mom used to take us across the town through Central Park to spend a few minutes with Dad during his lunch break, because we didn't get to see him very often. 2 years later, with Richie in tow and Josh, I take that, very sorry. 2 years after that, we made a move, supposedly for the last time, to Forest Hills, now as a family of 7, and Dad home every night. Well, almost, except when he was on call. Mom and Dad together became active in the fight for Soviet Jewry. Mom used to make regular packages that she would then send off to Russia, where they could sell these items on the black market and support themselves, as refuseniks were not allowed to work anymore. Dad, she even gutsily encouraged Dad to make a secret trip to Russia without Glauben, despite the risks, and crossed her fingers that whole time. Mom and Dad's beautiful partnership has been an inspiration to all of us kids, and their love is one that we aspire to for our own marriages. And I know I've run on a little bit longer, but I couldn't sleep on the plane, and I just started and I couldn't stop. Mom really was much more than just a mother to me. In a house full of boys, we were a team. Our motto was the boys with the boys and the girls with girls. In elementary and in high school, my friends couldn't understand why I was so close to my mother. It used to make them crazy when I would tell her everything. But she was really more than a mom. She was a friend. Something that I'm proud to say I have with my own 2 girls. One last thank you to Dad and Mom. At one point, when things were going really tough with Eric, and he stopped speaking to us for almost 3 years, each month, Mom and Dad would take a 2.5 or 3 hour trip from Forest Hills to Allentown each way to spend an hour with Eric and just remind him that he had a family who loved him. And when Mom first had her stroke, and then was in rehab in New Jersey, and then moved to New Jersey, Eric would come and visit her and them despite his anger at us. And it was Mom's illness that somehow brought Eric back to us in his last years. And for that, I'm really truly grateful to you both. So now, Mom and Eric are back together, taking care of each other and looking down at us all with a lot of love. So Mom and Eric, take care of each other. We will miss you greatly.